Let me ask you something very direct. Why do you study? Do you really love sitting in front of a textbook for hours, staring at lines of dull, lifeless text? Do you enjoy highlighting every other sentence? Filling up notebooks until your wrist hurts? Of course not. Nobody truly loves that. Deep down, the real reason you study is because you want results. You want to pass that exam. You want that grade that opens doors. You want the respect that comes when people see you mastering knowledge. You want freedom, the kind of freedom that only comes when you know you're ahead, not falling behind. But here's the painful truth most people never realize. The way most students study is completely broken. They bury themselves in highlighters, cover their desks with endless notes, and force themselves into marathon study sessions that leave them drained, anxious, and ironically, empty-headed the next day. Have you ever experienced that? You worked harder than anyone else, stayed up late, sacrificed your sleep, and yet when the exam came, you forgot half of what you studied. That is the trap. Meanwhile, there's always that one student. They don't look stressed. They don't seem to be grinding. In fact, they might look almost lazy compared to you. And yet, they walk into the exam, sit calmly, and crush it. They score higher. They perform better. And you're left wondering, how? I'll tell you how. It's not that they're smarter. It's not even that they work harder. It's because they understand something you don't. And here's where I need to break your mindset wide open. You have been brainwashed since childhood to believe this one toxic lie. The more hours you study, the more you'll learn. That is the same nonsense that schools, tutors, and even motivational gurus have been drilling into your head since day one. But it's a lie, a damaging, exhausting lie. Because here's the reality. Your brain doesn't reward effort. Your brain rewards strategy. You can push yourself for 10 hours straight and still be slower, weaker, and less sharp than someone who studied just 1 hour. But with the right method. Think about this. The human brain wasn't designed to sit still like a robot, reading textbooks for 8 hours straight. Your brain is lazy. And I don't mean that as an insult. It's literally built to conserve energy. It wants shortcuts. It wants efficiency. And when you try to force it into studying the hard way, by grinding, rereading, highlighting endlessly, it rebels. That's why you procrastinate. That's why you daydream. That's why you accidentally check your phone every 5 minutes. And here's the shocking part. That's not because you're lazy. That's because you're using the wrong system. Listen carefully. Laziness is not your enemy. Laziness is your weapon. Instead of fighting your lazy brain, what if you used it? What if you turned laziness into a tool, system, a strategy that makes you study faster than the hardworking students? Think about this. The people who brag about grinding 10 hours a day aren't champions. They're insecure. They don't trust their brain. So they try to brute force everything with raw effort. But the students who win, the ones who dominate exams, get top grades, and still have a life outside studying, those are the ones who figured out how to trick their brain into speed learning. And let me clear up another lie. You don't need motivation for this. Motivation is a scam. Motivation is like sugar. It gives you a rush, then it crashes. You can't rely on motivation because it disappears the moment you're tired, stressed, or distracted. What you really need is a system, a method that works even on your worst day. Imagine this. You sit down to study feeling exhausted, unfocused, maybe even a little unmotivated. But you still end up learning faster than the kid who's chugging his third cup of coffee, trying desperately to stay awake. That's the power of the lazy method. It makes studying so efficient, so natural, that it feels like you're barely trying. But your results skyrocket. Now, listen closely. You've been brainwashed into thinking success comes only from pain. No pain, no gain. Work hard or fail. Those phrases sound heroic, but they're lies designed to keep you chained to the grind. The truth? Success doesn't come from pain. Success comes from leverage. Leverage means finding the exact 20% of effort that produces 80% of results, and then doubling down on it until you become unstoppable. That's the secret weapon of the lazy student. If you really listen to what I'm about to share, your studying will never feel the same again. You won't need to cram anymore. You won't need to pull all-nighters. You'll stop envying those naturally smart kids because you'll realize something powerful. They're not smarter. They're just using leverage without even knowing it. And here's the wild part. Once you master this method, it feels almost unfair. It feels like cheating because you look back at all those hours you wasted grinding and think, why did no one tell me this soon? Imagine it. Studying less, scoring higher, and actually having a life, free from the prison of endless cramming. That's what leverage gives you. So, are you ready to destroy the old version of yourself? The one who confuses effort with progress. The one who wastes hours. The one who thinks pain equals success? Because once you unlock this lazy method, you'll never go back.